Welcome back to the 1v1 tournament here in Las Vegas, where our top 8 competitors will clash until only one is left standing at the end of the day. Many will fall, few will remain. My name is David Freak Turley, joined by the best 1v1 color caster of the year, Sam Kobe Hartman-Kensler.
Yes! Who else has casted 1v1s?
Me. Which means I am worse than you.
Nice.
Grammatically, that would be better, by the way, so Elias, step your game up. Now, 1v1 bracket recap is on the prompter. That trophy is up for grabs, by the way. Uzi won it twice in a row. He beat Maple, then he beat Bjergsen in the respective finals. Now we'll see who he might face who can move forward. Uzi at the top of that bracket, faced off against Evie. Caps and Maple. Maple, the finalist from 2 years ago. Rookie and Bank, FLICKR and Pabu after the upset win over Doublelift. It's going to be a fun one.
Man, it is so stacked, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense, right? All-stars and all the best players.
All the best players got voted in, and the good ones won.
But yeah, it's definitely looking good. FLICKR here, still in the tournament. I was sad last year when he got knocked out kind of early, you know, in one of the ones where they agreed to mirror match style. But he's definitely still fighting, and we'll take a look at his opponent as well.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Just to give you the quick overview of the tournament structure, in the top 8 1v1, it's still best of 1, so 4 single games. Immediately following those 4 games, we will play the semifinals, which will be BO3. So we'll have 4 best of 1s into back-to-back best of 3s. Then we're going to have the China versus Korea show match. Then we will have the 1v1 final. So that is the run of show for the rest of All-Stars 2018. FLICKR and Pabu in the 1v1. He already took on Doublelift. FLICKR's next up.
Yeah. I mean, and Pabu here with the blue hair that was just on your screen there, he's been kind of an underdog for the 1v1 tournaments, considering, you know, how famous a lot of the names in this tournament that have been going far are. But now he's up against FLICKR, one of his main goals here. And we'll see if he can actually take him down, because he was one of the ones doing a lot of planning coming into this, right? Coming up with, okay, if Heimerdinger is meta, then this is going to be my counter. Or, you know, if X champions are what we're going to expect, he has a lot of these counter initiatives.
To be fair, I'm going to walk back what I said, because you're quoting me from yesterday. Really said, hey, how good do you think Mordekaiser is? And I was like, probably not very. He's like, but I think it's good in a Heimerdinger. I'm like, okay. And there's no Heimerdinger, so he's not playing Mordekaiser. I feel like that's
what your story grew out of?
More or less. But like, he was thinking of counter picks, but he more or less is like, hey man, what's it going? I'm from, oh, so cool, like, I can tell from the accent. He's like, yeah, how good's Mordekaiser? And I'm like, probably not the right choice.
Yeah, I think I concur on that one.
Even his level 6 all-in's not even that strong. So we'll see though. FLICKR, I actually have been liking watching FLICKR at All-Stars. He's been more
You like watching FLICKR?
Yeah.
Oh, you hipster!
I'm such a hipster. He's been very emotive though about how the game's been going, and this is going to be spicy. We saw like a chain of like Tom Kench and Pantheon 1v1s where like the aggro melee was like maybe getting in and doing stuff. So now FLICKR on this Cassio, pretty standard mage pick for him, but he's up against a Darius, which is going to be very spicy.
I mean, I honestly think that's going to be really hard for the Darius. He does have Flash and Ghost, though. He's going to need all that mobility.
Yeah.
Because FLICKR here can obviously ground him, get extra speed with the poisons. Darius is going to have to choose the all-in very carefully, I believe. I mean, if you don't turn your back during FLICKR's ultimate, I feel like that's just a loss right there.
So one thing I want to theory craft on the runes right here for this Darius is I actually don't like that he went coup de grace, which is bonus damage on low health, because he'll execute with the ult, which is already true damage and won't be multiplied. I would rather he take last stand, because he's going to be at 10% at some point in that fight, and having a big Q hit when he's super low is, I think, a bigger deal. Really minor point, but it's one thing I would like to see changed.
Honestly, I think last stand is super underrated.
Yeah,
because it's actually a much bigger percentage increase in your damage. Yes, it's, you know, a harder, you know, or less wanted situation to be in.
But one of you's got to get low. It's how the game flows, right? So
you don't want to be the one making use of that rune in the first place by getting yourself super low. But if you can, then it has a big payout.
It might. So here we are in this one. I think no one is surprised that Cassio is having a better early laning phase than Darius.
Yeah. Also, blue side gets the first cannon for the decent cannon spawn.
Right.
So that always does help. But your point still stands. Cassiopeia poison spam as well as twin fangs coming out.
But it's going to make it hard because he's guaranteed under turret, and then if he tries the last hit, he'll take probably 300 damage from a Cassiopeia trade, and if he goes for an all-in, he pulls he like 2 waves, so he's checkmated for a while here. I think he can eventually wait. Again, 100 CS takes about 10 minutes, so he's got a lot of room to wait around.
So my theory for most of these matchups, which we've actually had a lot of mage versus, you know, like
mage
AD
melee
threat or melee threat, is to just go for your perfect Hex Drinker back, not really worrying too much about minion count, but trying to get as much gold as possible, as quickly as possible to get to the Hex Drinker, immediately go back on that purchase. You know, unless the summoners are super desynced or something, make your all-in attempt, because that has so much value, the shield for all-in.
Right now, Exhaust is on, but he's got the call back in, and he gets chased through the flash of FLICKR. FLICKR's not gonna get away easily. Oh no, there's a big Q. One more hit. How about poison? Good flash from FLICKR. This might be a double reset here. Pabu forces him out. Both summoners out.
Okay. Now, he has a bit of a health lead, clearing out some of the minions here, but FLICKR returning. There's no other gap closers for Darius with both summoners down.
Yeah. If FLICKR lands a Q, he can kite this forever. So Pabu's trying to like get away from the Q. If it doesn't land, there's no move speed. If he's in apprehend range, this can be a kill.
Not in range.
Oh. Time Warp Tonic, keep in mind his... Oh, that's the W. He might have it. He might have it. He might have it. FLICKR, the Q can kill him, and he's done it. Are you serious? Pabu takes down FLICKR.
Pabu is making a run straight for the top here in the 1v1 tournament. FLICKR went back close to the brush. After the apprehend missed, he thought he was all good, but he get back into that melee range. It's extended there for the snare.
That face is exactly the face I think every player in his situation has to feel where you're like, I just solo killed FLICKR. And everyone saw it.
All right, let's take another look so people can remember this one for Pabu. This is the second all-in, because the first one used both summoners. There, he retreats into the bush, but immediately goes offensive with his positioning. FLICKR thought he was going to run away through the poison long, as well as getting too close to the brush. And he takes his opening.
I like that Bang like hand him around like, what? FLICKR lost? Good thing I left this guy's team. Holy moly.
Oh. Too soon. Too soon. It's actually so soon. He hasn't played a single game on 100 Thieves yet.
That's true. He has played in NA at least.
True.
We're in Vegas here and All-Stars getting warmed up.